Good evening, everyone. I trust you are all doing great today. Okay. In this Ade314 class, we'll be looking at identifying social problems. Remember last week we tried to examine the concept of social welfare, what social welfare programs connote, the types or forms of social welfare package provided by government. We looked at the roles of social worker as innovators and creative people, and we some of the roles that we identify are identifying social problems and needs. A social worker who is innovative must be able to identify social problems and needs through their needs assessment, through information gathering, etc. Another important role is to develop innovative solutions to the problems they have been able to identify. Once they are able to develop innovative solutions that they take to the community to pilot test and, and redesign, from based on the pilot testing and information gathered, then the next thing for them is to implement and evaluate such solutions. And in the process, they must collaborate with diverse stakeholders, in the community and even beyond the community to ensure the success of the project or the solutions they are bringing on board. And part of their important role is advocating for social change, embracing entrepreneurship, empowering communities, promoting social innovation culture, dissemination of information and knowledge, best practices to tackle community problems, and also inspiring future social innovators to take up this role as a way of impacting humanity and giving back to the society. Right. So we'll be looking at identifying social problems. How do we identify social problems in the community? First, you must understand what social problems connote. And here, as you can see, I said that social problems are issues that will negatively affect, people in the community. They result or arise from complex interactions, between individuals, social system and structures and institutions. When we talk about institutions, we're talking about families, we're talking about schools, we're talking about churches and the associations within the community. All the complex or forms of interactions that ensued among these structures and institutions, tends to affect the happenings in the society, in the community, and they have far-reaching consequences on the well-being of community members and the overall functioning of the society. Look at how RITSA 2022 defines social problems. It said, social problems is a condition or behavior that has a negative consequences for large number of people. In fact, take that large number away for you know everybody in the society. If you are residing in the society, if you are you know living in the society, the consequences will have a far-reaching effect on everybody, and it's generally recognized as a condition or behavior that needs to be addressed. Now, two key things you can reflect on in that definition. The first is that it will have a negative consequences on individual, on everybody in the society. Social problems are not merely undesirable conditions. They actively harm individuals and groups within the society. It can be an economic hardship, it can be physical health issues, it can be inequalities, it can be social vices, social exclusion, and so on. So every social problems have negative consequences on the community, bounds on everybody in the community. The second key thing you can take away from that definition is the social recognition. So individuals, community members, and the people of the community must be able to identify this problem as a social problems because it's affecting everybody. It has become a norm. It has become, a usual thing that is affecting everybody, and it is the community that will recognize it as a social problem. So a condition or behavior becomes a social problem when it is recognized as such by a significant portion of the society. The media is able to recognize this, the philanthropist is able to recognize this, the individual members of of society is able to recognize it, the the heads, the local chiefs, the association, the the harbors, the state governors, everybody in the society, in the community, is in the state is able to recognize it as a social problems. Now, having looked at the definitions of social problems, what are the dimension or perspective to social problems? Two ways. It can be subjective or objective dimension. When it comes to subjective dimension, what we're trying to say there is that it has to do with the way people in the society perceive the condition or behavior as a problematic one in the society. Everybody is able to now perceive it as, wow, this problem is affecting everybody. How did we get there? That's the question they'll be asking themselves. How do we get here? This has become a, a social, a menace. Put it that way, a menace in the society. So everybody is able to subject that behavior or condition to be problematic in the society. So that's the subjective perspective of social problems. The objective perspective of social problem is that it has its own negative consequences. If you do it, or if it is acceptable as a norm in the society, it has its own far-reaching negative consequences. The consequences is not positive in this form. It is negative, and everybody is going to partake in the share of the negative consequences of that particular social problems. According to Witts and Roth 2023, this distinction highlights that social problems are not solely determined by objective reality, but also by the way society interprets and frames them. Yeah, there are some social problems that society may deem it or think that it is not a social problem per se, depending on the way they have been able to identify or interpret that problems. You know, in terms of objectivity of categorizing social problems, some community members or community may be biased. They may be biased towards a particular social problem and say, no, 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 this is not, we can't say that it's a social problem. But then it has its own consequences. Look at Yahoo Yahoo, for instance. Some communities see it, or some community members see it as, a way of collecting or taking back what the whites have taken from the blacks. Now, oftentimes I've heard people that it's the right thing to do. We need to collect what belongs to us. These people have duped us over the years, over time when they came to colonize us. So it is payback time. I mean, how is that even possible? It's unheard of. A problem, a menace, a criminal, an act of criminality. You know, when a society, is shielding an act of criminality as a norm, that is their objectivity. They have been biased in their objectivity. This is a social problem, and look at how it has degenerated, affected the society. Yahoo Yahoo, they say it is the norms taking back what rightfully belongs to us. Now, when the white people, or this category of people that they are duping, now brace up or wise up, and they are no longer giving them money, these guys that are into Yahoo Yahoo now delve into, Yahoo Plus, using people within the community to make a ritual so that the Yahoo Yahoo business can continue to flourish. Look at that scenario. It has now, had a far-reaching consequences on the society that is harboring and shielding that particular act. That's dangerous. That's dangerous for the survival of the community. And look at another example is sagging, prostitution. Before it is condemnably hard, We condemn it outrightly before. But with the level of moral decadence, disdain for moral values, sagging has now become the norms. Sagging that is used to be what male prisoners used to boast of in the prison. Now they now brought it into the society, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry begin to sag and say they are doing guys. Wow, that's a menace. That's a social problem. It's an act of gross irresponsibility on the particular or anybody that is perpetuating that act. The same thing goes with prostitution because of the economic hardship, because of the way the background, the inequality. People now begin to see prostitution as as a way of generating income, as a form of making money, whereas it is a condemnable act, but the society has taken it as a norm. Now you have everywhere full of prostitutes, and people are now becoming single mothers, saying that when if they are independent, then they don't need a man, they can get a baby father, baby mother. I mean, that's you know any form of issue or any form of behavior or condition that the society adopt, take outrightly without reflecting or analyzing these particular conditions and behavior to determine the consequences, it will have a negative implication later on. And that's what we are experiencing in our society today. I didn't mean that behavior or condition of yahoo yahoo, sagging, prostitution, and other social vices have been curtailed by the social institutions and structures. We will not be where we are today. Okay, right. So social problems as dynamic occurrence. Social problems as dynamic occurrence. Social problems are not static conditions. That's what I want you to understand here. They evolve over time. They continuously evolve and transform over time in response to the happenings of the society, the social life, the political, conditions, the economic factors, and so on. So whatever happens in the society, the trends, you know, people follow the trends, especially following the trends of Western culture, and we imbibe everything that they do there. We imbibe it, we adopt it, wholeheartedly, and we carry it out here in our society. All of these things changes. It continue to change, continue to evolve, and it will have implication on our society. So as society develop and value shift, new social problems emerge. Gone are the days when there is respect, when a young boy, a young girl will respect the elderly, a young boy, a young girl will greet the elderly. you know when there is respect, when there is mutual understanding, when there is good value system, good moral value system in the society, we have less of social problem. Go and check it, go and reflect on it. Back in the 60s, in the 70s, where the social value is still strong, the moral value is still admirable, we have less of social problems. But with westernization, with changing cultures and traditions, we are now imbibing a lot of things, and which is affecting our value system, our moral value system, the way we do things. And at the long run, these things created social problems. So as new social problems are emerging, some will be diminishing, some will be coming up, some will be diminishing, and that is how it will continue to evolve. Look at how it started in the 70s. Before, we don't used to have issue of unemployment, but as after in the 1970s, we begin to experience issue of unemployment, generated to armed robbery. I mean, must have heard is there an Nini of Benin? Then armed robbery was you know was very lucrative and becomes the norm then, and it's still happening now anyways. So it's now metamorphosed to kidnapping, cultism, yahoo yahoo, terrorism, as and that is how it will continue to emerge. As one fades, another one emerge, because society have failed to deal with our social life, our cultures and traditions. We have failed to protect, to preserve what is of value to us. We have allowed the Western culture to override our own cultures and tradition. We are fast losing, or our value system is fast eroding in this present dispensation. May God help our society. So it continues to evolve. So that tells you that social problems are dynamic. So this dynamic nature of social problems underscores the importance of ongoing analysis and adaptation in addressing them. As social problems evolve, as we continue to experience new ones, we just have to continue to look for innovative ways of addressing these solutions. So what are the domains of social problems? You know, Social problems can be categorized into different forms. When we talk about domains, talking about different categories. When you look at poverty and inequality, for instance, the issue of poverty has its own negative consequences in the society. It has brought about theft, armed robbery, kidnapping, ritualism, and what have you. So when there's poverty and economic inequality, there is a problem in the society. And you don't have to look far before you see all of these things happening in the society. Hardly will you walk by a street in our local community and you not see somebody running after you to beg for money. You not see somebody trying to extort you or exploit you. It's very, very difficult not to see or not to experience such in this our you know local society. So poverty and economic inequality, social problems is a social problem on its own. And if care is not taken, of course, we have been experiencing it now. Peace, stability, tranquility is very expensive to have now. So another domain is education and skills mismatch. When there is a gap, when there is a gap between education that we receive, the knowledge we receive, and the skills required in the world of work, it becomes an issue outrightly to result into high unemployment, because no company, no organization will want to recruit you knowing fully well that the jobs you are required to do, you don't have the skills to perform the job. So there is a lacuna there, that what the ivory tower, the educational institutions are teaching, you know, and our graduate, is not in tandem with what is required in the world of work. By this, it will create unemployment, it will create underemployment, and difficulty to many graduates in securing a stable and well-paying jobs. Look at the area of healthcare and access to basic services. If people are denied healthcare services, that may lead to increase in pandemic, you know, and other problems for individuals and the society at large. Crimes, criminality, and public safety. Everybody is trying to protect his life and family, to a very great extent now, because we are living on a time bomb. Nigeria is full of uncertainty, and that's why some people that have japa in the last 1 or 2 years, some of them, is not as if they have not made it. Some of them have made it in Nigeria, but because they feel Nigeria is not safe to even live. People are experiencing, different form of armed robbery, theft, and then some people, lose their life in the course. People will just have to leave because there's no safety anymore. And that is what we are saying. When a society, when a community fail to deal with social vices, crimes and criminality, you know, you will experience that society will experience issues like this. What about environmental degradation and climate change? Our activities will affect our society as human beings. If you build your house on a canal or where water is supposed to pass, you know what's going to happen. Pollution, water pollution, you know, smoke, air pollution, flooding, all of this affect climate. All of these affect our environment, and it will create problems for everybody in the society. It's not a one-man problem, it's everybody's problem. And that is why community needs to come together collectively. Everybody needs to come together collectively and tackle the problems headlong. Social inequality and discriminations, when there is discrimination in society in terms of race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, disability, and socioeconomic status. When there is discrimination in that regard, there will be problem. For instance, the bourgeois will see themselves as the all in all controlling the proletariat, and those ones we say they may revolt, but that cannot happen. I don't think that can happen in Nigeria. The proletariat or the employees, the people that are in the category of employees, will continue to dance to the dictate of their employers and the rich people in the society. And you see, people that are controlling uh, over 200 million Nigerians and even less than 1,000. Come to think of that, the wealthy people, the people that are called the wealthy in Nigeria, they are less than 1,000, and they are controlling the lives of over 200 million Nigerians. So when there is time to face the reality, people will fight for themselves to to bridge the gap between this inequality and a very good um, state of life. So to address social problems, it's a multifaceted approach. It involves commitment, it involves everybody coming together, collaborating, partnering, synergizing with different stakeholders, the government, the non-governmental organizations, the businesses, the philanthropies, the community development, and everybody that makes up the society must come together, you know, to provide different approaches to solving or tackling these social problems. So identifying social problems in the community can be addressed through these innovative ways. What are the practical steps we are talking about here? Number one, if you want to identify social problems in the society as a social worker, here are the practical steps you need to take. First, you need to meet the gatekeepers. You need to meet the gatekeepers. And meeting the gatekeepers, you must be able to identify the gatekeepers. How do you identify the gatekeepers? When you go into the community, you discover that there are some people that have low class, but they are important in the society. They are very popular member of the society. They know the nitty-gritty of the society, of the community. You must be able to fish those people out. You must be able to identify those people. They are the one that will guide you and lead you through the community. See who is who you can meet, that you can get information from them. Maybe the ballers, maybe the philanthropists, maybe the community development, leaders, the youth leaders, and every important person in that community. It is the gatekeeper that will direct you into meeting these people. So the first thing when you enter in the community with the notion that you want to go and address or identify social problems, you must be able to identify the gatekeepers. Meet with them. Very important. Another thing is when you have done this and you are able to form a relationship with the gatekeepers and some of the decision makers of the community, you need to gather facts and statistics. You have to collect information, about the community in terms of what is the social lifestyle of that community, the demographics of that community, the economic indicators, their health, their health statistics, the crime rate, the education level, and everything that defines that society or that community. You have to gather the facts so that you know where the issues are from, the sources of the issue, so that you know where to tackle them. So once you're able to do this, you need to gather data. You need to collect information. You need to collect data using different instruments. You can use survey, such as questionnaire, you can use interview, you can use focus groups discussion. So you need to meet with the community members, ask them questions about what is happening in the society, ask them the challenges they are facing, issues that affect their daily lives, and their perception of the perception of the well-being of every member of the society, and how the community is faring. They will download, trust me, they will download everything to you once you are able to know your way on how to get this information. So once you are able to meet with the gatekeepers, must be able to gather facts and statistics about the community you are heading to. Once you're able to do that, you meet with community members to gather information using different uh, collection instruments. Another thing is to observe and document. Go into that community. You are not going to sit down in your house and determine problems or identify problems. You need to go into the community, observe what is happening, document what you have been able to get, be it from the local event, from the or community event, local newspaper reports, social media discussions. Just ensure that you observe and document your report accordingly. Another important step you need to take is to analyze the existing data. The data you'll be able to gather from facts and statistics, and the information you'll be able to gather, you must be able to analyze those information. So utilize existing data such as the report, research studies, community assessment to gain a broader understanding of what is happening in that community. Once you're able to do that, you engage with community organization. You can do a community outreach. You can bring everybody together in a community town hall, just to deliberate on some of the issues affecting them. So for you to be able to do this, you must meet the local organizations, the local associations, the community development associations, the violence association, the youth forums, NGOs in that community, and different stakeholders that can help you to engage very well in that community. Once you're able to do this, you need to apply community dialogue approach. Everybody in the community must be carried along, irrespective of their age, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their class. Everybody must be able to be carried along in order to get the required information. If you segment the people that you want to ask questions, you want to dialogue with, for instance, the people of high social class, you will not know the nitty-gritty of where the social problem is coming from. And that is why you need to engage everybody. Like the example I gave you when I went for service, we thought that their problem in that community is electricity. But when we engage through the gatekeepers and ask questions in the community on what is affecting them, from the small, from the middle class, from the low class, from the high class, it is not actually electricity. The people of high class can afford solar, they can afford generator. The people of middle class can also do that. People of low class can go to a malam and charge whatever they are charging. Their main problem was adequate pipe-borne water, and that is how we were able to fish that out and provide that solution. So you need to carry everybody, engage everybody in a dialogue. Don't leave any stone unturned. So once you're able to do that, then you will get ample of issues they are facing, and you need to prioritize these issues. They're very, very important. The issues that are of utmost importance to them, the severity, when you consider the severity, impact, and the feasibility for intervention of this issue, you will discover that out of many issues you are able to gather, one is of utmost priority to them. Like the example I gave, not that electricity is not an issue in the community, but that is not of utmost priority to them. So you also need to seek expert guidance and build a formidable team. only you cannot do it. You need people, you need other people's brain, you need other people's resources to be able to do this. Also, you must continuously monitor what is happening in that community, so that social problems evolve, it changes, it continually changes. So you must be able to, as you are planning the solution, the innovative solution, you must be able to engage the community to know that this issue is still persist and it is still of utmost uh, 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 importance to them, and it's a menace to them, and they want it addressed as soon as possible. You must continue to monitor what is happening. You must also empower community action. You are the social worker. You are the one that will drive the innovative solution in that community. So they are all looking forward to you. They are looking, the community members are looking forward to you as a social worker, with the skills, with the competencies, to make everything happen. So you must be able to live up to that expectation. So here is a YouTube video. I'm going to drop it on the comment section, so you can click on that video and also look at get more information on social problems. In this social problem lecture by Jeremy Becker, you should be able to deduce where social problems emanate from. You ensure you watch the video and deduce where social problems emanate from, who determines social problems, and theories of social problems. Questions will come out of this. Just take note. So as you are done watching this YouTube video on my channel, ensure you also click on the social problems lecture and also watch it. You may not watch it. I think it's about 15 minutes. You may not watch it completely, but watch the areas that are germane or particular to what you want. So having said this, we'll move right away to examples of social worker that have drive innovative solution in communities using entrepreneur approaches. So examples of few social innovators are, if I mention Aisha Yusuf, I don't think anybody in this class will not, you know, will not that name will not ring a bell in their mind. Aisha Yusuf is very popular. He is a co-founder of the Bring Back Our Girls movement, and they campaign for the release of Chibok school girls kidnapped by Boko Haram. And you can see how, the last election, you can see how it was she learned her voice. She was moving a lot of political activities and all that. So that's somebody who has been able to use a voice, created a movement, to drive social change in Nigeria. Another person you should look at is Ndidi. Ndidi is a founder of Faith Foundation. It has been the foundation has been able to attract a lot of young Nigerians, provide them with entrepreneurship training and support them, you know, to go into entrepreneurship, create businesses, and sustain their businesses. So that's another example of social innovators. And these social innovators, when you look at them critically, they have been able to, identify issues in different aspects of this in of the or in different areas of life, in terms of the education, the healthcare, the poverty, alleviation programs, environmental sustainability. They have been able to use their creativity and ingenuity to develop such solutions, and that is why we are able to make reference to some of these social innovators. Another person you should look at that is Ibrahim. Ibrahim is a surgeon who founded the emergency hospital in Madala, Nigeria. So this hospital provides free medical care to victims of the Boko Haram insurgency. Is doing well, amazingly well in the north, with his foundation. So another person is Joy, who is a social entrepreneur who founded the Slum to School. I'm sure you can I'm sure you know this Slum to School. It will ring bell in your head. Slum to School is in Lagos, and they have been able to, you know, do or create a lot of impact, in the education and vocational training in Lagos State. So aside from these four social innovators I've mentioned, remember in our last class I gave you an assignment to identify 10 social innovators. So under the comment section, drop the social innovators that you have been able to identify in this under this comment section. Do not mention these four that I have mentioned. Don't mention Aisha Yusuf, don't mention Ndidi, don't mention Ibrahim, don't mention Joy. Mention any other social innovators in Nigeria, in Lagos State, in any part of Nigeria that you know that they have been able to use their ingenuity and creativity to drive or to address social problems in the society. We have many of them. So I want you to identify such people and put them under the comment section. You must put it under the comment section. It's part of your assessment, which will be graded. So great. Having said that, I'm going to stop here. In our next class, we will look at community outreach. I hope you have been able to uh, learn one or two things from this class. Thank you for your time. Ensure you comment, put your comment on social innovators, put your comment under the comment section, subscribe to this YouTube page and YouTube channel if you have not done so, and also like this video. Thank you once again. We'll see in our next class.